what your social media says is trending. So let's get right back to it. Can you tell this is live TV where she's there and we're here and it's all live right from the floor of the RNC? That's what's going on. Let's go back to a little bit from Newt. He's still on the stage and this thing looks good. One of my favorites, Newt Gingrich.
500%. So when you hear about Hillary's dishonesty, of the emails, or taking millions from the Saudis and other Middle Eastern dictatorships, remember, this is not about politics. The cost of Hillary's dishonesty could be the loss of America as we know it. The first step forward to safety is electing a leader who will be truthful with the American people about the realities we face. Only then will we understand, support, and demand the strategies required to confront this threat. And because safety and security are the preconditions for our freedom and prosperity, it is also the first step toward rebuilding the America we love. Donald Trump understands this. And that's why he will rebuild our military, because he knows that a strong military is the best way to ensure peace. Donald Trump will secure our borders, because there is no such thing as a nation without a border. Donald Trump will enforce our immigration laws. He will end the policy of deliberate non-enforcement and will end the abuse of our visa programs to protect American workers and their wages. Donald Trump will take care of our veterans by holding bureaucrats at the Veterans Administration accountable. He will fire those responsible for the waiting list and will give veterans more choices about their care. With Donald Trump's leadership, no bureaucrat will get between a veteran and their doctor. Donald Trump will get America building again. He will blow apart the ridiculous regulations and requirements that drive up infrastructure costs and drag out the timeline to get anything built. The Trump infrastructure program will make us once again the most competitive economy in the world. Donald Trump will rebuild our education system and give every parent of every income and every ethnic background a choice about where their children go to school. And Donald Trump will help us rebuild and strengthen our communities. Here again, the first step is safety. The basis for strong families and good jobs and vibrant neighborhoods. That means restoring law and order. Donald Trump will show zero tolerance for people calling for the death of police officers. Think about this. If anyone publicly threatens the life of the President of the United States, the Secret Service is on them in an instant. Our law enforcement officers deserve the same respect as the President of the United States. Of course, if individual officers...
We're back. I hate to break away from Newt. He's one of America's great political scholars, truly a national treasure. I want to talk to another national treasure, Dr. G on the floor. Can you hear us now?
Hey, Barry. Again, I can't hear you at all, but that was certainly, people were very excited about that. You can see I'm right in front of the stage here. And I got a little scoop for you, thanks to our own Mona Salama. She said that Cruz went back to schmooze with some of the donors, and they actually booed him when he went back there. That's according to Mona Salama. She's been watching this news. So very exciting time. The crowds are all happy, and it's coming down to the wire here. We've only got one more day left of the formal session, so we're going to be keeping busy until then.
Gina, I've got so many questions to ask you. Can you hear me at all at this point?
I can now.
Oh, wonderful. So let's start with this. I heard Cruz. I was significantly disappointed to the point of wondering why he was wasting national television time. It was as bad as it could have been, I guess. And then Newt comes up and explains the job of the President of the United States and how Trump can do that job. Contrast the two speeches for me in terms of the content. Oh, Gina, that was such a great question. Did you hear what I said, Gina?
One more time.
Contrast the speech.
Yeah, I didn't get it.
Contrast the speech. Ted Cruz's speech versus
Yeah.
Newt Gingrich's
Oh,
speech.
no comparison. Oh, yeah. No comparison. Who's coming now? Now Pence is taking the stage right behind me. Who's introducing him?
I don't think we're going to get Gina for now, ladies and gentlemen. I'll tell you what, though, I've got a couple thoughts to share with you about what we just heard from Newt, and I'm going to answer my own question. What I heard from Newt was the job of the president and the job of the country is to protect the country internally and externally. He talked about immigration. He talked about open borders. He talked about the intentional opening of the visa programs where no immigration laws have been enforced for coming up on 8 years. And obviously the suggestion and implication is Hillary Clinton wants to continue the same immigration policies of her predecessor and mentor, Barack Obama. Clearly, Donald Trump will contrast that with borders that will be closed down unless you qualify to come in, hence the wall on the border, and the requirements that visa programs will follow the existing laws. ISIS will be attacked domestically and internationally, and I find it interesting that Newt makes a speech like that, and none of that is really covered by Ted Cruz. I got to be honest with you, USA, I don't know what Ted Cruz's purpose was. There's sort of a tradition in politics, and this applies to both the Democrats and the Republicans. Whoever comes in second is almost the heir apparent for the next round of elections. This was Ted Cruz's opportunity to show the party and show America he's waiting in the wings. Reagan did the same thing, came back 4 years later, got the nomination, became president for 8 years. This was Cruz's opportunity. And from what Gina told us and what we saw together, by the end of that speech, he was being booed. He was booed backstage. Why? Because he did nothing about unification. He didn't even talk about the issues that Trump is pushing. He gave nothing as far as a biography about Trump and why to vote for Trump. Sadly, I think his own national career, at least on the national stage where it comes to being president or vice president someday in the future, he sunk his own ship. There'll be a lot of mending that Ted Cruz has to do before he takes the national stage again and has any kind of broad support. So listen, in the meantime, let's talk about who's the future of the Republican Party. You saw my poll question. I showed you the future possibly that we saw last night. Don Jr., is he the future of the party? Is he somebody that you want to run next time? Please, go to the poll question, vote tonight. When we come back, we'll try and get Gina back from the floor and see if we can hear what's really going on. Back in a minute.